So it's official. Jackson Odiambo has finally confessed to killing his roommate and lover, Edwin Chiloba, the Kenyan gay rights activist whose body was found in a black box 4 days after New Year in the streets in Kenya. We've been following this story for quite a while and it's happening really fast. This might just be one of the fastest stories we've ever covered. At the initial time when his body was found, many people thought this was a homophobic attack. And that was because he had complained about it the previous year. After getting beaten, bullied, threatened, to the point he was bleeding, we all thought when his body was stuffed in a black box, it would be one of those scenarios. But in a shocking twist of events, it turned out to be his close friend, best friend as some people call it, brother as some people call it, roommate as some people also calls it, and shockingly lover as it turned out to be. During the questioning, Jackson said that the reason why he killed Edwin was because Edwin cheated on him. This is simply a crime of passion. This is according to his confession. It's not clear the details of their relationship or how he found out or how he knew. What we know is they were together at the New Year's Eve party, which we saw them in the video partying and smiling like everything's fine. Maybe something had happened there, or maybe he had heard something, or he had figured out Edwin may have had someone else in his life and that may have triggered them and they had gone home, had a fight, and it happened. Although a lot of people are beginning to speak up, people who knew them personally, neighbors, have pointed out that they always fought a lot, that it was a normal thing for the two of them. However, this last fight they had on New Year's Day might have been the last fight for what it's worth. Jackson claimed that the way he killed him was by strangulation. The autopsy for Edwin is not yet out, so we don't exactly know what the coroner report would say, but Jackson is claiming that he strangled him. But somehow I find that hard to believe. This is not a boy and a girl. I know Jackson is also a guy, and they are almost of the same size and height and body length, so the whole strangulation thing seems a little hard for me to believe that was the way he killed him. Maybe he was already weak when it happened. Maybe he had already, because the neighbor's description was she heard fights, then she heard a loud scream, and then the scream stopped. Seemed to me like maybe he was trying to shut him up, or he had done something to him that made him scream, and he was just trying to hold him down, and from there. But to think that they had a physical fight and somewhere he threw him to the ground and began strangling him, it's sort of hard to believe though. On the flip side, many people have doubts on his confession. Some people don't believe this was a crime of passion. Some people are saying that there could have been more. It could have been business. It could have been something that probably Jackson wanted to get away with. You see, in as much as it was said that they were lovers, Jackson had a wife and a child. And it's kind of weird what their relationship is. That is why a lot of people have termed them best friends and roommates. If you notice in the beginning, not many people call them lovers. So it's kind of suggesting by these flip side people that maybe Jackson was just a straight guy who wanted to be friends with Edwin for probably the benefits. Because, you know, Edwin was pretty successful. Edwin was big. Edwin is a designer. He had more money. He had white foster parents who paid his bills. So a lot of people are just looking one eye at Jackson, saying that he's the one who has a wife and a child, a baby for that matter, to cater for. And so because of that situation with Jackson, many people are suspecting that he probably wanted something that Edwin did not give him, and to get it, he had to end his life. But to make that plausible, I feel like the police should have to check for transfers. It's not that hard. Check his finances. Check if money was transferred from Edwin's account to his. Check their properties, just to check the business aspect of their partnership and see if funds were moved. And if funds were moved, then I think I would have to agree with the people who call the crime of passion bullshit, because personally to me, that also could be plausible. Edwin doesn't have any child to look after. He had plans for his designing, for his fashion, for his brand. Jackson is the one who has responsibilities, and he's not clear his financial status. It seemed to me that he was just attaching himself to Edwin, because even Edwin's sisters said that when they saw Jackson and Edwin on New Year's Day, they had never seen Jackson before. That was the first time they had seen him. The sister said they had never seen him before. So to them, Jackson is a stranger. So probably this might just be a new relationship. And if you go through their Instagram, they've probably only known from the time they start posting together. It's probably within just a year or less than. So there's a possibility that these are probably new couples. And the apartments, from what we hear, is said to be Edwin's apartment. So probably Jackson was most likely with Edwin for the benefits, and when he wasn't getting as much, he did what he did. At the same time, it also could have been a crime of passion. It also could have been that he had found out that he was being cheated on. That's a possibility, and that is his confession. Again, like I've said in a lot of our stories, when people claim that they did not mean to kill someone, one of the best way to judge that intention is by knowing what they did afterwards. What Jackson did afterwards was to stuff his body in the box and dump it somewhere with the help of two people, by the way. It's unclear who these two people were, but Jackson did mention that two people helped him throw the body away. And I guess the police would have to look into that, because that kind of looks like a conspiracy to me. What two human beings would offer to want to dispose a body with you? I mean, it's confusing. Are these also Jackson's friends? Were they taking his side? Was this a plan all along? Those are things that the police would have to look into, because why this is important is that if this was a premeditated murder, then it's going to be a case of murder, or not going to be one of those second degree. It's going to be first degree murder here. So when a lot of people claim it was a crime of passion or claim it was an accident, it's just an attempt to get the minimal sentence as much as they can. So Jackson saying that this was a mistake, it was a fight, it was a crime of passion, yada yada, it's just him trying to not get first degree murder or something. But if people can prove that he had premeditated this, he had planned this, especially since there are now two guys who helped him dispose the body, then he could get the full extent of the law, the punishment for first degree murder case. So we need to check who those two guys were, what they stand to gain, how much he paid them, and pretty much what the plan was. Another thing people are also talking about is the way he handled the lover's body after killing. I mean, if you did love the person, you would have probably treated the body with respect. A lot of people pointed out the way he stuffed him in the box with the clothes, threw him away, seemed like someone who most likely did not maybe like Edwin. Seems more like he had gotten what he wanted and he was done with him. But I don't know. I can also see that he might have been confused and not knowing what to do, citing the possibility that the body was in the house with him for over 2 days, because we believe that Edwin died on the 1st of January. That was the same clothes he wore on the 31st that he was seen in on the 4th when his body was discovered. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the body was most likely stuffed in the Edwin's apartment after he had died. I guess that period of time he was trying to figure out what to do, how to dispose it, and probably organize the people who would help him get away with it. The two people who accompanied him to disposing the body have not been found, and we don't know anything about them yet. I'm sure maybe they will get them easily. However, I guess maybe this kind of settles the case. He would have to go to court, obviously, and the law would take its course, and we're just going to see how it unfolds. So thank you guys for subscribing and staying tuned. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, click the bell button, and turn on notifications. Should there be any future update, you would be the first to get notified. Thank you.